If you depend upon advice from your favorite fitness influencers, there's a couple of things I want you to know so you can make an informed decision at the end of the day. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. We're all about kettlebells, so if you are into kettlebells, like the video and consider subscribing. Now, before we get this video started, this is not a personal attack against any fitness influencer out there. It's just a constructive criticism and feedback of their business practices that are sometimes questionable. Now, of course, not all fitness influencers have this problem or engage in these practices. Yet, I've reacted to over 80 workouts on this channel, and a huge amount of these workouts put on display what I'm trying to share with you right now. So now let's dig a little bit deeper. This is about the kettlebell niche, not all of fitness, even though we all know fitness in general has this problem of practices that are scamming and cheating people. In worst cases and in best cases, it's just uninformed, misinformed, or illogical conclusions that some coaches, trainers, or influencers have, and that's what they share with their community. I myself have been there. I come from the regular bodybuilding split training type of routine, and I've been in fitness for a longer time now. Yet with kettlebells, I was kind of new. I sort of believe this functional fitness hype, even though I've heard of the OGs, Pavel Tsatsouline, Steve Carter, and all these great minds in the kettlebell world that formed this modern revolution that we were able to experience in the 2000s. Yet, I thought that kettlebells or club bells or battle ropes, any type of training modality that I wasn't used to, must be functional. And in order to appear to a larger audience in this functional trend, I was engaging in these practices as well. I was doing workouts, I was posting workouts that came off on the surface as somebody who is engaging in that stuff regularly to the untrained eye, yet a professional will look at this and be like, wow, I guarantee you, this dude doesn't do this on the regular basis or includes this in his regular routines. And that was the case. But then I met Steve Carter, and the rest is history. So I completely changed. And the reason why I'm doing these reactions is to show you that many people and influencers especially engage in this type of behavior when it comes to kettlebells, because I believe they're trying to follow a trend or they try to jump on the hype train, especially in the pandemic in 2020. So the reason why I wanted to offer this information that I'm about to share, it's 5 points, is easy. I want you to realize and be able to distinguish and discern the good from the bad, so to speak, so that you understand how can I make an informed decision. Because as a beginner, if you've never seen kettlebells before, you jump into this world, you are overwhelmed with information, and everybody wants your money, and everybody wants to be your coach, and everybody wants to help you. And even though I wasn't a beginner per se, I was a beginner with kettlebells. And thankfully I changed, and thankfully I was able to gain a new understanding. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, because I want you to experience the same type of epiphany moment with these 5 points that I'm about to share. So here's what 95% of fitness influencers don't want you to know. Number one, the preposterous disregard of heavy weights. The legendary powerlifter Ed Cohn said this, and I said this multiple times on this channel. Everybody can lift light weights with bad form. And let me quote another great teacher and coach called Pavel Tsatsouline, who said, heavy weights are instructive. And that's what we're saying as well. Heavier weights will highlight the flaws in your technique. And heavier weights will show you that certain movement patterns that you're exhibiting probably right now that are not the optimal ones, they simply just don't work. At the same time, I'm not saying that there's not a place for light weights. Of course there is. Yet, this thread, again, that I mentioned before, that you see in these fitness DVDs, in these influencers, how they apply their training methodology, how they apply their workouts, how they train. They almost exclusively use light weights, because you can surely mess up and make a lot of mistakes with light weights. And A, you probably won't hurt yourself, and B, you can engage in a technique that is wrong. And at the end of the day, if you're watching this, you're like, wow, this guy or this gal knows what it's all about, when at the end of the day, it just seems like they know what they're talking about because they're using light weights and they disregard the heavy ones. Number 2, their popularity doesn't automatically qualify them as experts. I said this many times. Just because somebody is popular, this doesn't mean that they're an expert. They were able to build a following and build a community, which is commendable, which is respectable, and which is a lot of hard work. I don't want to disregard the fact that it takes a lot of time, work, and patience to build a following and a community. Yet, just because somebody is popular doesn't mean that they're an expert on this specific field. And this is where the danger lies to a certain extent, because somebody is incredibly popular and has a huge community, and now they start sharing misinformation to a certain extent, then people get the wrong ideas. Now, at the same time, I'm not saying that we should censor these people. What I'm trying to do is offer you a different perspective so that you can make a decision at the end of the day. Number 3, many of those fitness influencers shield themselves behind their fame from constructive critique. Not all of them. I have seen some great people, some great coaches, great influencers who reacted to constructive feedback, not only from myself, but from other people probably as well. And they changed. And this is a very good factor or sign of a good coach or influencer or teacher or whatever. He or she is willing to adapt, improvise, change, and maybe even turn around and see things differently because they're gathering information at the end of the day. And then they apply this information. They see, okay, maybe I have to change, because they don't want to mess up their following. They don't want to mess up their clients. So it's like, okay, I didn't know better. Sometimes we don't know better. But then if we know better, we are supposed to do better. So some of them are very keen on constructive feedback and they don't accept it, and they shield it behind their fame. They're incredibly famous or well known, and then they don't even accept critique. Sometimes I do understand, maybe they don't even see it or hear about it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to know about it. For example, Vince from V-Shreds, he must know, or his team must know, that he's been critiqued on YouTube back and forth, up and down. And a good sign would be that Vince would start to adapt and change, yet he doesn't. Number 4, if something is brand new and evokes criticism, it's categorized as functional. And mostly it emits a response from the fitness influencer in question that goes along the lines of, you just don't know X or whatever. For example, I was reacting to exercises with kettlebells done by Functional Patterns, and their following attacked me saying, well, you just don't know X. And then they said something completely unrelated to the kettlebell exercise that I was critiquing, because this kettlebell exercise was kind of dangerous, or there's just no value in doing an exercise like this. So sometimes you see fitness influencers acting like cults, or they're acting like cult leaders, and then their following, of course, acts like a cult, and then they attack you or attack the people or attack the criticism that's been evoked through their idea, because they put something out into the marketplace of ideas and that evokes criticism, and then they react with this type of aggression saying, well, it's so brand new and you just don't know it. I know it because I have the secret and I'm able to share it, so you have to buy my stuff so you can keep coming back to me, because I only give you bits and pieces of the secret because it's so brand new, but I'll never give you everything all at once. I always give you a little bit so I can make you dependent upon me. That's cultish behavior. And number 5, if something is claimed to increase performance, it should be tested and tried in track and fields or in sports. So we have fitness influencers saying that I have this type of training modality or training style or whatever. And they promise you to increase performance. And I think performance is that one point, and I've learned this from Dan John, that you can actually track. Now, if you have this brand new idea that we should tinker with, then you have to show me some results. Some athletes that have just destroyed their competition in track and field, for example. They've gained meters or miles or seconds or whatever, never seen in this world. If you do this in a highly competitive field such as sports, then everybody will listen to you and everybody will jump on your program. Yet in most cases, it's just simply not the case. It doesn't happen. I hope with these 5 points, I was able to shine a light on how many influencers do it and give you additional understanding and knowledge to really discern. And when you hear stuff, critically think about it, do your own research, even when you hear me say things. Because I love critique, I love feedback. I love to adapt my views because I love communal learning. We all increase our knowledge base if we learn from each other. So I hope this serves you some value. The next time you follow a fitness influencer, think about these things. Do they apply? Do these 5 things apply? Do some of them apply? And then you can make your own decision. 90 Days of Kettlebells is an online workout course for beginners who want to train at home, lose weight, and achieve lasting results without wasting time and money with crash diets and unused gym memberships. The program works as follows. You will do 3 kettlebell workouts per week that gradually increase in difficulty. You'll also build 3 powerful eating habits that have proven successful in our coaching. As the name implies, the program lasts 90 days and you will have lifelong access after purchase. We also include live accountability sessions where you will publicly state your goals. Psychology shows us that if we make our goals public, our adherence to the process and the program increases dramatically. If you have been struggling to put together an elaborate kettlebell workout system while trying to lose weight, then 90 Days of Kettlebells is for you. The price of 90 Days of Kettlebells is $59 per month for 3 months, and you can save 20% with a one-time payment of $147. We'll open registration only to a small number of new clients. Join the waiting list now to get access 24 hours before the general public. Link is in the description.